Hi everybody. Today I'm going to be briefly describing some popular leadership theories. By the end of my talk, you should be able to compare and contrast leadership theories, evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of the leadership theories presented, and understand how to apply these theories in a workplace. Leadership means different things to different people. Leaders are defined by the group of people or the processes which they are attempting to lead. As such, leadership can be defined as a process that influences a group of people who are focused on a common goal. A good leader is someone who can inspire, guide a group to accomplish their goals, and motivate people to want to achieve more. A leader must be approachable and a good communicator. The ability of someone to be an authentic leader and distinguish themselves from the crowd has been studied for decades. Humans strive to define what makes the best leader. Leaders must motivate people to achieve, be able to problem solve, and continually be conscious that they are conducting themselves with integrity. Leadership theory aims to zero in on the appropriate traits and define guidelines on how to achieve success as an effective leader. Both the trait and skills approach attempt to study leadership, and more specifically, what characteristics a strong leader possesses. The trait approach focuses strongly on a leader's personality, which is often viewed as fixed, whereas the skills approach places the emphasis on the skills and abilities a leader has, which can be learned. The trait approach was one of the first leadership theories. Researchers determined that it was innate personality traits that facilitated a strong leader, such as intelligence, responsibility, integrity, self-confidence, and emotional intelligence. On the other hand, the skills approach to understanding leadership qualities states that quality leaders are defined by what they are able to accomplish. Certain leadership skills, according to this approach, that make for a great leader are technical skills, human skills, and conceptual skills. Specific skills such as problem solving, general cognitive ability, and motivation all increase a person's overall leadership performance. The skills approach allows for people to become leaders through education, training, and experience, and therefore a leader is someone who can be developed instead of born. Situational leadership involves a leader reacting to each situation individually and with the appropriate level of response. Different situations require different styles and levels of leadership. So according to the situational approach, an effective leader is able to perceive the situation and adjust their leadership style accordingly. There are two dimensions to a situational approach to leadership: directive and supportive. It is up to the leader to determine the amount of intervention that is required in a given scenario and how to appropriately apply direction or support. Situational leadership allows for a leader to adjust their approach to leading individuals as their needs develop and change over time. Situational leaders aim to develop workers, establish lines of communication to enhance people's working strengths, and utilize a leadership style that is broadly applicable. Situational leadership is so successful because it incorporates many other leadership techniques in a way that caters to an individual organization's environment and competencies. The path goal theory of leadership explains how leaders can motivate their followers to produce quality work, achieve milestones along the path of a larger goal, and be satisfied with the level of work they are producing. The path goal theory is a type of contingency leadership because the success of the methods hinge on the relationship between the leader's behavior and the follower's goals. The leader should encourage behaviors that attempt to enhance an area that the employee is lacking in but needs in order to reach their goal. The goal of the leader should be to motivate their employees by providing information or accolades within the working environment. The path goal theory allows for a leader to provide followers with the tools or support they are lacking in order to achieve their goals. A strong path goal leader must be able to perceive an employee's weaknesses and motivate them to achieve despite them. If utilized correctly, the path goal theory of leadership can provide employees with the knowledge and support they need to achieve their goals. Strong path goal leader will exhibit directive leadership by setting clear goals, expectations, and schedules, fostering a friendly and supportive environment, and emphasizing the importance of challenges in the workplace, and also expect a high level of achievement. The leader-member exchange theory focuses heavily on the interaction between leaders and their followers. This theory supports that leaders should take the time to foster a special and unique relationship with each of their employees. This allows leaders to offer each follower an opportunity to take on more and different responsibilities based on their interactions. An effective leader, according to the leader-member exchange theory, not only nurtures relationships with their staff, but also values high-quality interactions that have meaningful outcomes. This results in trusting and respectful relationship, which lead to good organizational citizenship behavior. This type of leader can also extend this theory outside of their direct reports to foster meaningful relationships with people throughout the organization. The leader-member exchange theory requires a leader to dedicate much of their time to building workplace relationships. It is important to remember that the leader must consider each individual and the level of interest they have in fostering a personal relationship. If someone's personality type does not feel comfortable with such a close relationship with his or her management, then the leader must control their bias and not let that affect the way in which they make decisions about that person's professional performance. Transformational leadership is also concerned with the interpersonal connections between leader and follower. A transformational leader is able to transform people through their leadership. An effective transformational leader exhibits strong internal values and leads with concern for emotions, ethics, and long-term goals. They are able to motivate and influence their employees in such a way that they want to achieve more and what is expected of them and moving toward reaching their full potential. Transformational leaders can use their charisma to influence people on a one-on-one scale, on a broader scale to influence an entire organization. The follower of such a leader is motivated to work towards a greater good, but not just their own self-interest. Transformational leaders are able to integrate who they are into the culture of their team. Authentic leadership theory blends the concepts of leadership traits and skills with interpersonal relationships. It states that followers respond best to a leader who exhibits authenticity in their leading style. There are three main viewpoints to define what makes for an authentic leader. The intrapersonal perspective is concerned with who the leader is as a person and their experiences. It stresses the importance of the leader's self-awareness to lead with conviction and remain original. The interpersonal process of an authentic leader emphasizes the relationship between leader and follower. Authenticity is a result of the responses a leader has to the actions of their followers. Lastly, an authentic leader is a product of a developmental perspective. This suggests that the skills and attributes that make for an authentic leader are developed over a lifetime and can be sharpened by experiences. No matter what the workplace setting, authenticity is an extremely important trait in a leader. Employees can sense when a leader is being inauthentic, and it reduces the respect in the leader-follower relationship. Adaptive leadership focuses on how leaders enable their employees to problem solve. An adaptive leader prepares people for challenges and changes and encourages them to deal with issues that arise independently. Adaptive leadership is a result of the leader-follower relationship in that an effective adaptive leader's actions influence the response of the followers in the specific context in which they are facing a trial. Adaptive leaders encourage their followers to grow and change the way in which they interact with the world around them. Employees gain focus and organization in the context of problem solving and are able to mobilize and affect change efficiently. An adaptive leader prepares their employees to face challenges in all aspects of their lives and enables them with the tools to be effective problem solvers in any setting. The psychodynamic approach to leadership understands that humans are diverse, complex, and dynamic beings. The motives and decision-making rationale of every person is different. The psychodynamic approach to leadership requires a leader to understand what affects human behaviors and its complexities. This understanding could be extended to leaders themselves in understanding why a leader acts the way they do in a given circumstance. The undercurrent of human complexity should be at the heart of understanding for a leader. They must continually consider the psychological, social, and emotional processes that are continually occurring within the leader, a follower, and between any persons who interact. The psychodynamic approach requires leaders to have a solid foundation in areas other than those which are strictly technical to the job at hand. A strong leader is able to identify the struggles of their employees and recognize that there are often influences at play other than job satisfaction. A psychodynamic approach to leadership promotes empathy and understanding relationships, which will foster honest and open communication. If you're interested in any of the leadership theories we talked about today, you could look into these questions. Are leaders born or made? How do leaders' personal attributes shape their reactions to situations, and how does that affect outcomes? How can leadership theories be reframed so that they can benefit both leaders and followers? Thank you for your time.